There's still many people who believe they need to practice scales and arpeggios for hours every day in order to master their technique. And listen, just because Franz Liszt did that and he practiced 8 hours a day, it doesn't mean that you need to do that in order to just get to some decent level of technique. This is a misconception, and today I want to explain to you why that is not necessary. Look, you have 88 keys, we have 10 fingers, and we have our 2 ears in order to create the sound, right? Okay, we can also say 2 feet. But what you need to learn is just when to press the right keys in the right order, with the right speed, and when to release them again. And mostly, it's pretty similar movements. For example, if you just play 5 notes like this, that is pretty simple, right? If you play, that is pretty simple too. So you need specific exercises to cover the problems that are not simple. So, yeah, if you're moving your thumb here, that's one of the arpeggio exercises. I just spoiled something from my masterclass. But anyways, you need to do it properly in order to be successful with it. You need these kind of exercises to help you get over those technical obstacles. And if you then put together a system and you do use a practice journal and you actually learn what you need to repeat and how to repeat it, how to tense your muscles, how to relax them, then just playing scales up and down and arpeggios is purely a waste of time. I don't know how many more times I need to say that. You know, every week I get applications from students who want to work with me in my academy, and every time I need to tell them, you don't need hours of practicing scales, you don't need hours of Hanon, you don't need this, you don't need that. They don't get it. And I don't know how many more times I should say this. It's really, really important that you focus on the problems. And it's not necessarily, you know, that you invest time. There is no direct correlation between time invested and progress made. Let that sink in. There is no real correlation. And just because most other people practice too much doesn't mean that you need to do the same. It doesn't mean that you need to practice 8 hours a day to master piano technique. Yes, of course, people need to start early if they want to develop professional careers. People need to practice thousands of hours, of course, but please learn to practice in the right way, especially if you're a hobby player, especially if you have a busy life. There are really good methods that help you to cut your practice time in half and make it as simple as ABC to follow through. And I don't know what else I should tell you. I mean, if you're curious, just apply for that free strategy lesson at aaronpilson.com/academy. We'll figure out there together how you can succeed with that. And I've made another video about scales. You find that here. I've made another video on the biggest beginner mistakes. If that's relevant for you, that's here, because that comes even before the scales. And if you do that correctly, what do you do with the time you have left? Now, you can start working on the real expression. You can start working on how to phrase. If you say the sentence like this, or if you say it like this. What words, what notes are important to you and which are not that important. You can practice the performance, so you actually get to play for your friends or in a safe environment regularly, and you'll then master the pieces really well. Or you start working on improvising. Maybe you have always wanted to improvise in different styles. Now is the time to do that, because you're not anymore practicing all day technique. It's just one of the aspects. It's the realization. But you need to train yourself as a musician. You need to learn how to imagine things properly. You need to learn about harmony. You need to learn about expressing how to play, what to play, improvise, sight reading as well, yeah, that you learn how to really read things at first sight. These things are the important things. And I want you to do a little exercise now as you're watching this video. I want you to write down 10 areas which could be improved in your piano playing. And then please post them in the comments. I want to read them. I'm reading them, all of them. and I'm going to give you my feedback if there's anything missing. 10 areas which you could improve when you're playing. Do that now. It's not that easy. We usually cover 5 areas, but I'm sure you can find 10 things you can improve in your playing. So that you just once get an idea that it's not only about technique. And technique is a tool, technique is the path to mastery, and technique is everything that comes after the imagination. But I want you to work on the imagination, and this exercise will be the first step for that. I usually do these exercises within my masterclass, but here I just give it to you now for free. Please try it, and yeah, that will open many doors for you already, because you start realizing actually what you have to work on instead of just stupidly repeating all the things over and over and over again, all the technique, all the stuff. I just had to say this, and yeah, talking about technique, we want to have this efficient approach. We want always the fastest way. So let's say you have your imagination now, then you want to look, how do you get there? So we start reverse engineering. What kind of technique do you need to express that? And then from there on, we reverse engineer what do you have to practice and how do you have to practice. Most people start the wrong way. They start just practicing something, technique, and they think they will end up at the expression, but that's wrong. You need that imagination first. So please cultivate that and apply for that free strategy lesson at aaronpilson.com/academy so we can find out exactly which areas we have to move forward for you. Thanks for watching this video, and we see each other again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.